Joining me today is Bianca B. King, and she is the founder and CEO of Pretty Damn Ambitious. And basically, she's a girl boss. So what we're going to be talking about is building your empire one step at a time. But of course, before I get into it, I must give Bianca a moment to shine and tell us more about yourself, anything you'd like us to know. And thank you so much for being here with me today. Take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, CJ, for having me. It is an absolute honor to be here and to, share some things with your audience. So yeah, I'm Bianca B. King. I started my business career back in the 90s. I worked in corporate. I worked for a commercial real estate company, did that for almost 11 years. Through that time, I essentially kind of climbed the corporate ladder. I started off as an administrative assistant, then went on to brokerage as a financial analyst, then went on to brokerage associate. And when I was a brokerage associate, I worked with the investment sales team, and we sold over $1.4 billion worth of commercial real estate. So those were like office building assets and so forth that we did here in Texas and a few places throughout the U.S. as well. But during that time, in my real estate career, things were a little strange. It was very male dominated. It was very, I won't say difficult, but there were a lot of challenges, I should say, that kind of transpired during the time I was in that company, in that position. So at the tender age of 32, I decided to tender my resignation. And the next month, I started my digital marketing agency, Seven5 Seven3 Marketing Group. And that was it was 16 and a half years ago. We'll be celebrating our 17th year this coming May. And essentially what we do is we serve business service clients across the world globally. And we are the outsourced marketing department for a lot of companies. So like wealth managers, CPAs, accountants, lawyers, all that good stuff. So it's been an absolute fun journey. It's been absolutely hard as well. But we have helped our clients have a ton of success to the tune of $277 million in revenue and counting. So that's a little bit about me.
It's a touch. And you write for Forbes as well.
Yeah. So yeah. This is something I've just picked up recently, probably in the past 3 years. So yeah, I've written for Forbes, Entrepreneur, Fast Company, LinkedIn, Success Magazine. Yeah. It's been fun. Writing is something that I absolutely love doing, and I actually plan on writing a book this year.
Okay, you've heard it first here on the podcast. So one thing I always like to ask my guests about is their journey, their transition. This podcast is for side hustlers. It's for women who are dreaming of being where you are. But of course, like you said, it was work. And it still is work. I'm sure there's a lot that still goes into it, even almost 17 years later. But what was your journey like once you decided to hand in your resignation and start your own business? What do you remember most that stood out most about that time?
Yeah. So because, all businesses should be about relationships, but I feel like real estate is like massively relationship driven. So I tendered my resignation, and one of the people who I had worked with previously was saying, hey, our company needs some help with some marketing. And I was like, oh, great. And she was like, would you like to come down and pitch us? I was like, great. So I took $700 and I bought a round trip plane ticket to Austin, Southwest, shout out to Southwest, and a laptop. And I secured my first client. And it's not always that easy, right? The thing is, like, if you can remember, like, making sure that relationships come first, that you're not trying to get something from someone, that you are really trying to be a good person in the sense of helping, that's the best way to always kind of go about, your business.
And with building an empire and getting to where you are and all these years later in your journey, what would you say has been your biggest, two-part question. What would you say has been your biggest challenge / lesson? Because challenges turn into lessons. There's always lessons to learn. And what has been your biggest win with having, being where you are right now?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Those are two great questions. So the first one was, even though like I was able to secure that contract really fast, I started my business back in 2008, which was during the Great Recession, especially here in the States. And after I had that contract, I think I had like maybe one or two other clients, and then it was crickets. it was almost 3 years before I actually start seeing a real profit in my business, right? And the biggest challenge that I had to get over was the self-doubt. Did I make a mistake? What people asked me about, why did I leave? Were they right? I literally just wrote an article about in Forbes about that. But really just trying to make sure that I stayed true to myself and just persevere. Like I just knew in the back of my head, like things are going to change. Things are going to change. Things are going to change. And it did. And so one of the biggest things that happened for me during that basically kind of elevated everything. I was, just grinding it out, doing the best I could. I started a online community called Successful Seven Sisters. And essentially what I would do was, because I didn't have a whole lot of business, what I would do was I would interview other Black women and just market them on social media for free. I'm a very curious person. So, and I like to write, of course. And so I would just interview these women and, and broadcast them and so forth. And so that caught the attention of a reporter. And a reporter called me and said, "Hey, I'd like to interview you about your business." I was like, "Are you sure?" I'm over here struggling, and people don't see it. But so I got that interview, and it was with Jet Magazine.
Okay.
And and I know Jet Magazine isn't like a big thing now, but Jet Magazine was a big thing back in 2010 or whatever. It's a Black historical periodical that comes out weekly. Amazing publication. And I got like a full feature spread in that article. And after that, like the phone started ringing off the hook. Like it was insane, just from that one piece of PR. But the thing about it was I was ready. I didn't like rest on my laurels. I had been making sure that I was doing all the things that I could do in order to be prepared for when the business came in. Because remember, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, this is going to work. This is going to work. Even though it was really hard. So your biggest challenge, it sounds like,
led to your biggest win. When starting off with, they talk about fake it till you make it, or do it till you're actually doing it. The self-doubt and wondering, did I make the right decision? But you stuck to it. You were ready to put in the work, to do the work, and it paid off in the end. And that was something I know for a fact that anyone tuned in, especially a side hustler, especially a woman side hustler, Black woman side hustler, needs to hear is, it's not easy. And as cliche as it sounds, it's not easy, but it's totally worth it in the end. So dealing with that self-doubt, I like to think of self-doubt as a catalyst. When you start to doubt, should I be doing this? Is this a direction I should take things in? You're like, there's something there. That's why I'm doubting this. And you supporting women, giving them the exposure, supporting them with their marketing, and making the quadrillions of dollars in profit that you have been able to. What has been, knowing that you've had these challenges and lessons and you've had these wins, what has been like I like to ask this question, what has been a common trend or pattern with the women that you have worked with in order to get them to the point where they are turning in the kind of profit that you've been able to help them with? Has it been more an application thing or more a mindset internal thing with them?
It's mindset every time. Every single time, it's mindset. So I would tell, anyone in your audience, whether you're a side hustler or you do have your own business, you're a new entrepreneur, mindset is 80% of the work. You actually doing the work, 20%, that's it. You have to really embody what you want to become. And we know you're not there yet, right? You want to be this billionaire CEO or whatever. And I know it's people say it all the time. But you have to kind of, if we're getting woo, you have to kind of get into that energy of where you want to be versus where you are. And I would say that every woman that I've spoken to, I've spoken to hundreds of women and, women also in my community, the main issue is mindset. We get in our own way. And we have to remember, like, if God gave us the idea to do something, then we damn well can do it,
And you're right. Mindset is, we do definitely get in our way a lot. And I do believe that we are doing the world a disservice when we're not sharing our talents and our skills with everyone else, but we can definitely get in our way. Is there some tip or trick when you think about talking or supporting a woman with addressing her mindset, shifting her mindset? Is there an exercise you take them through?
Yeah.
What typically tends to work for them? I'm sure with every woman, it's different. It's not cookie cutter. The process isn't cookie cutter. It's very customizable. But is there something that some woman right now who's tuned in and she's doing just that, and she's letting the self-doubt win? Is there something that you can say to her right now that she needs to start practicing and turn into a habit?
Oh, absolutely. But one other thing, I am not a coach. I am a coach matchmaker, if you will. But the thing that you have to remember is everybody has been exactly where you are. Everybody has had the self-doubt. Everybody has just started, like all the things where you think that you're failing. Every single person, every billionaire, entrepreneur, they have that same self-doubt. You're not doing it wrong. It's not bad. You have to persevere if that's something that you want and push through to the other side.
And it's true. It'd be all, because before anything else, we're human. We're all going to deal with our own obstacles, our own stories, our own challenges. But it's again, cliche. It'll all be worth it. In the end, if you can just really stick to it. Yes, I know you're not a coach, but the coach in me does get very curious about like,
yeah, but because of my business, a lot of people think that I am a coach. So I always want to clarify that. But I would also say, hey, coach, right? That has been something that has been the massive game changer in my career, in my life, right? Whether it was a mentor or a coach, whatever, that person who can, that third party person that can kind of see things, the blind spots, that's massive. The person who can also, you can kind of vent to when you have, frustrations, right? A coach is so powerful. And I know sometimes women are like, well, I can't afford a coach. You can, in the sense of there are so many organizations that offer free mentorship. All you have to do is just Google it, right? Or now you can go on AI and just ask AI what organizations offer free mentorships, right? Here in the States, we have a program called SCORE, where you can, score.org, where you can get free mentorships if you need it for if you're a new entrepreneur.
And it's the journey in and of itself is so, again, challenging. The word's now starting to get a little redundant, but the journey is so challenging. It is so pivotal to have that support, to have that person in your corner to help you to see the blind spots, but also to see your potential in order to help you realize that potential and keep you on track with getting to the point of, so in building your empire and getting to where you are right now, and the challenges, the self-doubt, you had the coach or you had the support, you had the mentor, you've tried, and I don't actually use the word fail, tried and learned and adapted and pivoted and tweaked where you needed to tweak, essentially. I like to ask this question. What are you working on? What do you have coming up? What should people be looking out for from Bianca B. King?
Yeah. So we have the third annual Level Up Summit that's coming out. It is February 26th and 27th, so next month. And essentially what it is, it's a summit where I invite coaches and speakers, and we really try to help you understand the best way to reach six figures faster. I mean, that's kind of the basis for it. So, and then with that, I'm also working on a program to help women understand how to create six-figure quarters, right? Six-figure years are great, but we all know, like, inflation, like money just doesn't go as far as it used to, right? And if you can make, 100K per quarter, how would that change your life? So that's another thing that I'm working on as well. But yeah, I would invite your audience to check out the Level Up Summit. It's levelupsummit.co. if you're interested in learning more.
And everything, of course, will be linked. It's virtual, and everything will be linked. So they absolutely do want to, if they are interested in checking it. I'm sure after hearing you speak, after understanding that the person that they see when they see Bianca B. King, to get to where you are now, it took a lot of trials. It took a lot of challenges. And I feel like as much as we can remind people that it's not easy, nothing worth it comes easily, but what you're seeing, it took some time and some work to get to that point. And I always share with my audience that I've had the moments of curled up in the fetal position in a corner crying. Like, what am I doing? Is this what I should be doing? Oh my God, I'm not making money. When I first started my business, or even as within recent time too, there were times there's going to be that ebb and flow and the lulls in your business. So yeah, we want to highlight the successes, but in between, there's a lot that that happens to be able to get that name and to be able to share that success story. So thank you for being so transparent and sharing that you did deal with self-doubt. You did have those moments in the beginning, like, should I have walked away?
Right. I share a lot of that in my writing. I think I just posted something on LinkedIn about like how I just was like stepped into my husband's office and I was like on the verge of tears before I started Pretty Damn Ambitious, because I was like, am I just adding to the noise? Do people actually need this? Like, why am I starting another company when I already have a successful company over here, right? And there's still doubt. I still have doubts to this day. It never goes away. The doubts just get different because you're ascending. You're going on a different level. So just know that if you are really willing to just take that leap and understand that it's not going to be like the Instagram stuff where it's like make $200 million in 2 days. Like it doesn't happen that way. If it does, God bless them and more power to them. I need to understand what they're doing, but for 99.9% of us, it doesn't happen that way. It's about showing up, having the perseverance, and then rinsing and repeating.
Yes. And I know what you just shared there might be very nugget worthy, but I always like to wrap up my episodes asking my guest for a nugget. Do you have something to share with us today as we wrap up our conversation?
Yes. So I'm all about ambition, but I'm about joyful ambition, right? And so back in 2023, I think I wrote a piece for Fast Company, basically trying to help women understand how to redefine ambition. So my new definition of ambition, or joyful ambition, if you will, is the joyful, diligent pursuit of success informed by your ideals.
Informed by your ideals. I love that.
Yeah. So if you can really dig into your core values of why you're doing something, why you're starting this business, why you're starting the side hustle, whatever, that should be your compass to help you on your ambitions, right? Because if you do ambition, quote unquote, wrong, you can burn yourself out, right? But if you're really understanding and knowing like why I'm doing this, with my core values. Yes, we want to make money. We all need money because that's how we live, right? But in your core values, why are you doing this? Then you can have a very joyful journey in your pursuit of success.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. That was a beautiful way to wrap up this episode, this conversation, and being able to spend some time just hearing your story and learning from you. I always love learning from my guests. I always come in very open to hearing from your experience and what I can take away from it. So thank you very much for spending time with me today, Bianca. Until the next collaboration. Thank you so much.